Frank Ragano, a self-described mob lawyer from Florida, rose to prominence by representing organized crime figures like Santo Trafficante Jr. and Carlos Marcello, as well as Teamsters Leader Jimmy Hoffa. Ragano had positioned himself as a clever, up-and-coming gangster lawyer who represented a varied spectrum of clients, similar to Oscar Goodman. Stay tuned for more on Frank Ragano's Mobster's Untold Truth, Early Life. Ragano, born in Ybor City, Tampa, Florida, to Sicilian parents, attended Stetson Law School and clerked for the Florida Supreme Court before being admitted to the Florida Bar in 1952 and beginning his trial practice in Tampa. In 1954, he was hired by another lawyer to represent several defendants arrested in Tampa for their roles in Santo Trafficante Jr.'s illegal police operations. He quickly became friends with Santo Trafficante, who welcomed him into the inner circles of Florida's organized crime scene. Because, why not? Early life accounts are often quite different from later life experiences. Does this stand for Frank Ragano? How did he go from a regular law school student to being the mob lawyer? Stick with us a bit longer, and we'll tell you all about it. Ragano became a regular at Trafficante's Havana nightclubs. During one such visit, Santo Trafficante told Ragano that he and others had set up then-Senator John F. Kennedy in a Havana hotel room with several prostitutes in 1957, and that Santo Trafficante regretted not capturing the moment on secret surveillance tapes that could have been used for bribery purposes. Work life. Santo Trafficante casinos were closed down, and the new government imprisoned him after Fidel Castro overthrew the Fulgencio Batista regime in Cuba in 1959. Ragano worked on several attempts to free Santo Trafficante, who was released and returned to the United States in early 1960. Jimmy Hoffa hired Ragano to represent him on union corruption charges after a recommendation from Santo Trafficante, beginning a long association with the infamous labor leader. In exchange for finder's fees, he used his position with Hoffa to help place loans from the Teamsters pension funds.
I brought the mob lawyer.
The entertainer Liberace was one such client for whom he attempted to obtain a Teamsters loan. Ragano witnessed millions of dollars in kickbacks to Hoffa from the Teamsters pension fund. Becoming mob lawyer.
For 3 decades, he was house attorney to some of the most powerful mob bosses in America. Frank Ragano not only defended criminals like Santo Trafficante and Jimmy Hoffa, he learned the inner workings of their operation.
While representing Santo Trafficante in connection with the arrest of several top mobsters in New York City in 1966, Ragano was photographed having lunch with Santo Trafficante Marcello and others and was identified as a top Cosa Nostra hoodlum by Time magazine. He later sued Time for libel and was represented by renowned trial attorney Melvin Belli. During the libel trial, he was dubbed Mob House Counsel. Belli had previously defined Jack Ruby, the man accused of assassinating Lee Harvey Oswald, the accused assassin of John F. Kennedy, and Ragano claimed that Santo Trafficante warned him not to ask Belli any questions about Ruby. Subscribe to the channel to get access to all things investigation. We'll do our best to bring them to you as accurately as possible. Turn on post notification to be the first to get to watch it once we upload. Working as a lawyer.
Your attorney, Mr. Ragano.
On Santo Trafficante's recommendation, Ragano, commonly referred to as a gangster lawyer, began working as an attorney for Carlos Marcello, the head of the New Orleans crime family, in 1963. Ragano claimed in his book that Hoffa, pursued by U.S. Attorney General Robert F. Kennedy on corruption and jury tampering charges, asked him to send a message to Santo Trafficante and Marcello requesting that President Kennedy be assassinated. When Kennedy was assassinated later that year, Ragano wrote that Hoffa assumed Santo Trafficante and Marcello had carried out such a plan. When Trafficante learned of Kennedy's assassination, he celebrated with Ragano, but he made no admission to Ragano that he was involved. Later, he told Ragano that the Central Intelligence Agency had asked him for assistance in assassinating Castro in Cuba. Santo Trafficante asked Ragano in 1975 to send an urgent message to Hoffa to be very careful and not take any chances. Hoffa vanished under mysterious circumstances within days, never to be found. Clients. Ragano represented 4 mobsters, including Jimmy the Gent Burke and Henry Hill, charged with extortion in collecting a gambling debt in Tampa, Florida in 1972, an incident made famous by Martin Scorsese's film Goodfellas. When Ragano was charged with tax evasion in 1972, he became the accused. Despite having his conviction overturned on appeal, he was retried and convicted on related charges. As a direct consequence of this, his license to practice law was revoked in 1976, and he now asserts that Santo Trafficante deserted him. Ragano testified in front of the House Select Committee on Assassinations in 1978, when the committee was launching a new inquiry into the killing of John F. Kennedy. He denied any involvement in any preparations concerning JFK. The House Select Committee on Assassinations was conducting an investigation into who was responsible for the assassination of John F. Kennedy. After having his license to practice law reinstated by the Florida Bar in 1981, Ragano was eventually able to apologize to Santo Trafficante, whom he had previously defended in a racketeering case. This allowed Ragano to make amends with Santo Trafficante. The court determined that Santo Trafficante, who other individuals also defended, was not guilty of any of the charges. Frank Ragano died peacefully in his sleep in Tampa on May 13, 1998. His first wife and their 3 children, as well as his second wife, former mistress, and their 2 children, survived him. In 1995, American Justice aired an episode about his work as a mob defense on the A&E network. Thank you for spending time with us on yet another video. Ragano and the assassination of President John F. Kennedy were horrific enough in this video, but you may not be able to handle what's to come in the next one. It's called Mob Lawyer Frank Ragano. Top 5 Mafias Frank Ragano represented. In that video, we list up to 5 gangsters that our mob lawyer represented in various crime cases. Check it out if you have time. See you later.